represent NCAA college basketball. Tonight's game, it's the Drake University Bulldogs taking on the Indiana State Sycamores. Live from the Knapp Center in Des Moines. Hi everyone, Mick here along with Todd Kim as we get ready for what should be a pretty good basketball game this evening and a very important weekend, Todd Kim, for the Drake women.
I don't think there's any doubt. When you look at the standings, Drake can finish anywhere from 3rd to 8th. And this is one of the teams, Indiana State, that they're going to be fighting for if they want to finish 4th in the league. Lisa Bluter made it clear this is a must game.
Well, certainly the Bulldogs trying to get back on the winning ways, and tonight it's K-Rig bringing in their Indiana State Sycamores.
And it's a Sycamore team that doesn't shoot the ball very well, 36% in valley play. That's the lowest in the league. They make up for it, though, with offensive rebounds and forcing turnovers.
Well, the Bulldogs had a little trouble getting the shots to go from the outside, even had trouble getting the shots off the other night. They're going to get those off tonight?
Well, they're going to have to, because this is an Indiana State team that likes to really force the turnovers. For Drake, it's going to be how they handle the basketball. Can they protect it? They had 31 turnovers in their loss in Terre Haute by 9 points. Also, Indiana State picked up 21 offensive rebounds. The Bulldogs must protect the defensive boards.
Alrighty, Todd Kim, the keys for tonight's ball game. Give them to us.
Well, I think for Drake, they're going to have to protect the boards and try and out-rebound this Indiana State team. For the Sycamores, they're going to have to make up for that shooting percentage by forcing some turnovers and getting easy baskets. Also, Indiana State needs to stay in the game early. They've struggled on the road, just one league road win in the last 2 years.
Should be a good one as the Bulldogs and Sycamores match up here at the Knapp Center. We'll have it for you next.
Education is limited because you can't attend college during the day. Consider Drake University, offering over 200 courses and more than 40 degree programs in the evening, including accelerated programs for business majors. Working adults appreciate convenient class schedules and services, and Drake professors assure students a quality education. So at Drake, the only real difference between day and evening classes is the time of day. Call for information.
When he needed help, Easter Seals was there. When she felt alone, Easter Seals was there. For 75 years, the Easter Seal Society has had one mission: to help people with disabilities achieve independence. With each person comes a story, and to celebrate the special 75th anniversary, Easter Seals wants to hear your story. Call 1-800-STORIES by voice or TDD. Your call could make history.
Special days.
Hello. Victor, Todd Kim, as we get ready for what should be a pretty good basketball game this evening, and the starting lineup's being ready to get introduced here. And Todd Kim, we talked the other night certainly about the Bulldogs, and boy, I'll tell you what, one of the keys for tonight is certainly going to be the bench that the Bulldogs certainly have possessed this year. They've gotten a lot of help out of the bench, and I think they'll probably need that again tonight.
Oh, that's the one thing that Lisa Bluter has certainly had throughout this season, a lot of depth. She's got a lot of different players to call on, but what they need to do is just kind of establish their game, keep playing hard, and just try and play hard on the defensive end, make sure they keep boxing out underneath on the rebounds, and just try and get some of that confidence back that they had during that 3-game win streak.
Let's take a look at the starting lineup. Certainly Hennigan here for the Bulldogs. A big key the other night, whenever the ball was, you can certainly find her around the ball.
And she got in some foul trouble the other night against Creighton. Had 9 first-half points, but really didn't contribute offensively in the second half. Was saddled with fouls. Got a little tentative because of that foul trouble, and Lisa Bluter felt it hurt her offensive game.
Kristi Kinney being introduced, the leading scorer right now for the Bulldogs, and boy, really shooting the ball well.
And really has been consistent throughout this season. Kristi Kinney has averaged 14 points. Still one of the top shooters in the league, averaging shooting 59% from the floor. So taking the good opportunities and making good on them is Kristi Kinney.
Tricia Wakely here just being introduced, also a player that is really playing well for Coach Bluter. I'm really impressed with the improvement she's made in a year's time.
And it really came on about Christmas time of her freshman year. She came on during the league race last year and has continued to improve and make strides for the Bulldogs, playing a little bit at the center spot this year, but is doing a nice job scoring, shooting well, and getting some rebounds.
Dia Payton also handling the ball well. Julie Ritkers, I'll tell you what, Julie had her hands full defensively with Creighton the other night, and I'm sure she'd like to get back on the scoring table.
Yeah, it certainly would. That's not the kind of shooting performance we're used to out of Julie Ritkers, but it's also a credit to Creighton's defense. They do an excellent job. This is also a club Mick, that kind of goes exclusively man-to-man in the half court. Maybe not quite as good as what Creighton does, but they do have quick hands and will make some steals. Bulldogs are going to have to protect that as Kay Reek brings her Indiana State club in. Kay, of course, a graduate of Drake University, played on some outstanding teams back in the mid-'80s.
I was talking to Carol Baumgarten, former Drake basketball coach, and an opportunity to talk to Coach Reek before tonight's ball game. Todd, I said, well, what Coach Reek have to say? And she said, I'd like to have those 2 freshmen off of Bluter's bench. and I'm sure she would. But Kay Reek has done an outstanding job at Indiana State. She enjoys coming back here to Des Moines and bringing her club here to take on the Bulldogs.
And this is a team that at 4-5 in the league was picked for 8th in the league race. They've kind of exceeded expectations, have dropped 4 straight, though, here coming off a disappointing loss, much like Drake did. They dropped an overtime game at home to Illinois State. Very disappointing for Kay Reek. They thought they could close out the first half of the race on a winning note. Now they go on a long road trip, which will take them to Creighton on Sunday. So it's a club that's in much need of a victory right now.
Tricia Wakely getting ready to jump it up here for the Bulldogs. And Wakely will jump it against Cora Kahn, a sophomore out of Kentucky. Officials for tonight's game, Rick Snow and Bob Harold, and I think they're going to re-jump it here at the center circle here at the Knapp Center. Mick, Todd Kim, glad to have you along for Drake women's basketball here this evening. And the ball in the air, tip controlled by Indiana State Sycamores. They'll be in their blue uniforms. Bulldogs in the white. Bulldogs will open up in the man-to-man as the Indiana State. I think the Bulldogs got to certainly have the height advantage here this evening, even when they bring it off the bench. And we're going to have the first turnover of the basketball game, and it's going to go against Hazel Olden, the senior for Indiana State Sycamores. A little token pressure being applied by the Sycamores, and they're going to see man-to-man as well.
Well, they'll go with a 1-2-1-1 press. They normally drop back into the man, but they get the turnover right away.
Yeah, 1 turnover apiece here, and the pass down underneath, shot no good. Ball knocked to the bounds. They give it to the Bulldogs.
Well, that's one of the concerns Lisa Bluter had. The key, she thought, would be the inside play of Indiana State, much like we saw the other night with Creighton. Kahn and Hester on the inside have the ability to really hurt teams as we see more token pressure here, more pressure from Indiana State.
Saw a chance to see Kay Reek. She'll really coach them from that sideline. Bulldogs will set it up out front here with Dia Payton out front with the ball. Well, a little pressure out there. Dia might have a little problem with the quickness of the guards of Indiana State.
And it's something that they certainly have talked about coming into this game.
Shot, air ball, no good. Indiana State with the basketball. Both teams look a little shaky in the early going here. Todd, 1 minute gone. No score. Pass down underneath. Ball stolen away. Another turnover on the Indiana State. Bulldogs, now they throw it away. Dia Payton tries to throw it up court. Rickers wasn't even looking at her. And another turnover against the Bulldogs.
Well, that time Dia threw the pass a little too early. Julie was kind of trying to fan out and fill the lane on that break. Dia tried to lead her with a pass, thinking she was going to make a break for the basket, and Julie just didn't see it coming.
Well, Indiana State a couple of trips down here. Both passes trying to go to the inside in the early going. Now they go to the right wing again, looking down inside. They're going to take a shot inside of the key, up and good for 2. Shot good by Walker, and that's her first bucket of the ball game. 2-0 Indiana State.
Walker shoots just 35% from the field, so kind of struggled from the outside. There she gets her first shot down, and another turnover on that pressure.
Boy, Bulldogs having their troubles right now. I think that's 3 turnovers against Drake. Uncharacteristic of the Bulldogs. Another pass inside. Shot, turnaround, no good. Rebound, Wakely. And the Bulldogs with an upper opportunity. I think they've only had 1 shot. Long pass, nice pass to Kinney. Kristi Kinney getting the bucket down.
Well, the fast break starts with defensive rebounds, and Tricia Wakely did a nice job of collecting the rebound off the Hester miss, and then Dia with the nice look as Kristi Kinney broke to the basket.
2 minutes gone to the first half. We're tied at 2. Ball stolen away by Kristi Kinney. Kinney will dribble down and miss. Nope, makes the bucket. Boy, almost came off that iron. I thought it was rolling off.
Well, it looked like it was going to lay up there for a second, but she finally got it to go down.
4-2 Bulldogs here. 17:40 to go, first half. Indiana State will stay high post. Now Kinney drawing the assignment on Hester, and that's quite a matchup there. Kinney trying to keep that arm in front. Tricia Wakely will draw the assignment on Kahn. Pass inside, good back help from Wakely, and Wakely gets the rebound. Good job by Tricia.
Yeah, when you play that 3-quarter defense, you've got to have help there when they make the entry pass.
Again, Kinney on the fast break, easy 2. Again, a nice pass down front to Kinney inside of the lane.
Really just a secondary break, kind of just beating that Indiana State defense down the floor. And Kay Reek sits back in her chair a little frustrated over there with the way that they're playing the transition defense right now.
6-2 ball game in favor of the Bulldogs. In trouble out front, gets rid of the basketball, drives in. We got a blocking foul, count the bucket. And the bucket will count. Foul is going to be on Kinney. That'll be her first personal foul of the basketball game. Our first substitution into the ball game as well. Bottoms will check in. And Kay Reek, I don't think, was happy with the defense being played out there by Hester, and she'll check out of the ball game.
Georgia Bottoms, she hails from Brussels, Belgium, Mick, but she's an American. She grew up in Virginia. Her father works for NATO, and so went to a military school over there where a lot of the American kids go, and was an all-European selection 4 consecutive years. Indiana State recruiter. She's back on the mainland.
Fry with the free throw, make it a 6-5 ball game, and a ball almost stolen away. They're going to give it back to Drake. A lot of quickness out there by Indiana State.
Well, this is a team that's not known for great defense in the half court, but what they do have is a lot of quickness out there. Hazel Olden, she leads the conference in steals right now, and you're going to have to protect the basketball, try and make the good pass when you get the opportunity. This is a team that tries to make up for low shooting percentages by getting layups off turnovers.
Kenny draws a crowd, gets it off to Wakely. We're going to have a whistle down inside of the lane, and I believe a foul on Indiana State. But did you see him back off of Kenny? She was wide open momentarily.
Yeah, that little fake to the inside just dropped that defender off, and then Kristi looked like she had the layup but tried to make the extra pass, and they get the foul out of it.
See the replay there with Kenny trying to split him, then get it to Wakely. Out front, Dia Payton from the three-point line hits the back of the iron and no good. Rebound Kenny, feeds it in. Here's Hennigan, puts up the bucket. Count the bucket, I believe. And the foul's going to be called on Indiana State. 2 officials conferring. Oh, I think they're going to wave it off, but I don't. Oh, man. God, I didn't think there was any question mark in that one. And Lisa Bluter says, what? Can't believe it.
All set up there by Nicole, who just kind of got a hand on that rebound, tapped it loose to Kenny, and then Kristi found her underneath. It looked like she was in the act of shooting, but they call the foul on the floor, so the Bulldogs inbounding.
Indiana State into the zone. Wakely. The Hennigan top. Yeah, that'll get Ritgers open. We brought around the horn pretty good. Wakely gets the rebound. And in trouble, kicks it back out. But then when they rotated it back around, Ritgers got open. There's the bucket. Count the bucket, and a foul called. Dia Payton. Is it a tray?
Yes, it is.
Dia Payton gets the bucket down from three-point range, and then the Bulldogs are going to get the basketball, and Hester comes back out of the ball game, and Bottoms will check back out as Kay Reek trying to get help on the inside, and Reek not happy with her team.
It shows you what ball movement will do, because they had the defense switching. Hazel Olden had to take a run out at Dia, fouled her after the basket, so the Bulldogs inbound.
Kenny gets the bucket, and another foul called. Kristi Kenny driving in. Kenny with 6 points on the evening. She'll go to the free throw line to shoot 1 with 4 minutes gone to the first half.
Now, this is exactly what the Bulldogs wanted to do, get off to the good start. You see here, Kristi Kenny just a step through. Livia Hester really couldn't stay with her, fouled her as she went up for the shot.
Kenny, a 74% free throw shooter, goes to the line. 11-5 ball game. Bulldogs on top by 6. Kenny will try and make it 7. Does not. Misses the free throw. 11-5, Bulldogs by 6. A little pressure being applied by the Bulldogs. Ritker steals it away and then takes the extra half a step and gets called for the walk. But good defense by Julie Ritkers.
You get the feeling right now that the Sycamores a little bit on their heels, Mick, as Drake kind of has seized the momentum here early. Indiana State not really getting much accomplished at the offensive end. Drake's kind of bothering them here.
Bulldogs stay in the man. High post, double high post by Indiana State. Well, a lot of contact down. They're going to call a foul on Wakely. Wake from the ball. Tricia Wakely, her first personal. Second team foul on the Bulldogs.
Well, Cora Khan just trying to post up there. It looked like Tricia was trying to get around her to set up the defense, and Khan just a nice post-up job down low, and Wakely trying to get around her, gets called for the hold.
Lisa Bluter asking the official what she was doing wrong, and then instructed Wakely not to do it. Pass inside, Wakely knocks it away. Here come the Bulldogs. Tricia doing a nice job down there defensively.
Now that's why you like that bounce pass on the entry there at the block.
Hennigan from the left side of the paint puts it up and good.
That's something they've been trying to get Nicole to do. She has a tendency to want to put it on the court and drive to the basket. They've tried to get her to stop, take that open jumper, and there we saw it right there, another two-pointer for Nicole.
13-5, Bulldogs. Here come the Dogs. Up court to Kenny, and Kenny will drive, brings it up, and shoots it good. Kristi Kenny trying to draw the foul. She's got 10 on the night.
And a great job by the Bulldogs as Kay Reek wants to talk it over early with Drake out in front. in this one. Not even 5 minutes into the ball game.
15-5 Drake. We'll take a break, and we'll be back after this.
We will be picking it.
It isn't easy that first time you step into an elementary school classroom as a junior achievement volunteer. Can you get kids that young to start thinking about their futures? But don't worry, we'll supply you with training for this new program, and they'll supply plenty of motivation. Call us about volunteering. As you see their dreams expand, so will your pride.
For generations, the Iowa State Fair has been one of our state's most cherished traditions. But after more than a century of making memories, the fair needs our help. Buildings and facilities at the fairgrounds have been devastated by Iowa's changing seasons and lack of funding for repairs. But there's hope for this Iowa treasure, and you can help. Please donate $1 or more on your Iowa tax return to help renovate and preserve the fairgrounds. Together, we can repair the fair for the next 100 years.
And Victor Todd Kim back at the Knapp Center. Indiana State will throw it in play. Bulldogs leading 15-5. And Drake's been impressive so far, Todd.
7 out of their first 10 from the field, and it's awful easy when you get lay-ins.
A lot of them inside of the paint. Good pressure by the Bulldogs and some good defense as well by Drake so far. Down to the left side of the paint, up and good. Bucket by Fry, her first bucket of the ball game. I think somebody must have touched the ball as it went through the hoop, and the Bulldogs get it back. That was still pretty good defense by Drake.
Well, good defense. Nicole Fry just makes a nice move. That's really one of her strengths in her game, is to take it to the hole, drive the lane, break down the defense. Token pressure here by Indiana State.
Thea Payton will set up the half-court offense. Indiana State out of the zone, back to the man. Ritkers, Kinney. Set shot from 12, and she'll hit that about 9 out of 10 times. And Kinney has 12 points on the night.
And on pace to have some kind of evening is Kristi Kinney. When she starts dropping those outside shots, then it's going to be difficult to stop her.
17-7 ball game in favor of the Bulldogs here. 14:20 to play. Shot from inside of the key, no good. Rebound fought for. Indiana State comes away with it. Back up, no good. And I'll tell you, Indiana State's really having a hurry to get some shots down. Up court pass to Wakely, and she'll take it in. Misses the shot. Loose ball, fought for. Indiana State comes away. That's a tough shot for her.
It's one that you got to hit, though. Again, Drake beating Indiana State just down the floor with hustle.
Forced up shot by Indiana State. Here come the Bulldogs. Thea Payton brings it down, stops, shoots, and hits it. Thea Payton gets her first bucket of the ball game.
Again, the break for the Bulldogs, getting down the court. And Thea Payton just pulls up and takes the medium-range jumper.
Yeah, that's fine. That's her second bucket of the night, making 19-7. Another whistle, another foul away from the ball. They're calling Wakely on the foul down on the low post there, and that'll be her second foul.
And Jill Euchen gets set here to check in as Wakely picks up her second foul. But, Mick, it's just been Indiana State looks like they're a little road weary or something right now. They just really don't have much spark out there on the court, and Drake's just out hustling them.
There you can see the Indiana State bench. Lisa Bluter, meanwhile, on the other bench, was asking that official again, what's Wakely doing wrong? Kristi Kinney falls down, and her player will put it up and good. Bottoms got loose there as Kinney went to the floor hard. Thea Payton again. Boy, she's really pushing it up tonight. Payton will set up the half-court. Lynch into the ball game, number 23. Kinney draws the crowd. Back to Ritkers. Nice give-and-go pass. Thea from the top of the key. High archer, no good. Almost got rotation that time. Here comes Indiana State, trailing 19-9. Boy, not much teamwork out there on Indiana State, Todd. Right now, it's just single basketball, individual basketball for the Sycamores.
And I think Kay Reek was upset with that last shot from Hazel Olden. She went down the bench, and quickly somebody gets up. Chrissy Holden comes in, the freshman, and I think Hazel Olden's going to go out. There you see her. She did not like that last shot. Just come down and throw it up. As Hazel Olden, an outstanding player, leads the Valley in steals and 4th in assists. They really missed her last year. She tore up her knee up at UNI, missed the last 10 games of the season. Came back after surgery and has put together another pretty good year.
Cheyenne Palmer into the ball game here for the Bulldogs, number 14. First free throw up and good here by Fry. That's 2 for 2 on the night from the charity line. Fry's second free throw attempt also good. Give her 3 and 5 points tonight. And the Indiana State Sycamores come back with an 8 at 19-11. Palmer to Kenny. She'll score easily. Well, they say if they put the pressure on, make them pay, and indeed the Bulldogs have tonight.
That's excellent recognition there. Not just trying to break the press, but score off it. That's the difference. Sometimes teams get tentative, just want to get it over the dividing line. You want to take it and make them pay for using that pressure.
14 points for Kristi Kinney. Gives them a 10-point lead. Shot by Indiana State, no good, and a whistle and a foul. And I think they're going to call on the Bulldogs. Kristi Kinney might have been moving underneath. There's Kay Reek yelling for the instructions here.
That's 2 on Kristi. As you see Walker take the shot, and then Kinney just kind of backing bottoms right out of there into the baseline. Pretty good call.
Indiana State having problems getting it in play here. They find themselves trailing by 10.
Now you really get a feeling here, Indiana State, they've kind of gone away from going down to the block where they need to go. That's where they're going to have their success.
Long shot from the outside by Holden, and she hits the three-pointer. First bucket of the ball game for Holden, and pulls Indiana State back within 7 at 21-14.
Well, that's a big basket for Indiana State because Holden doesn't do much scoring for this club, doesn't get a lot of minutes, and to come in spelling Hazel Olden and knocking down a 3, that's a great development for Indiana State.
Here's Lynch in the free throw line, in and out, no good. Looked like it was going to go down. Indiana State with an opportunity to close the gap, Todd. But I still have been very impressed with the half-court offense of Indiana State. There again, 2 passes and shoot it up, even though they score by Fry, and as she has herself 7. Indiana State not a team that really works the ball.
Well, they're settling for the 1 shot, but they're getting it. They got open ones the last 2 trips.
Palmer, in and out. Her shot won't go for the Bulldogs. And here comes Indiana State again with a chance to close it to 3. Kick back out. Long shot by Stewart. No good. Good rebound out of there by Jill Yukon. Out of Taitaka, Iowa, the senior that's 6'4". Really with some height advantage in there right now for the Bulldogs. Inside to Kinney, who has led the way. And she's fouled from behind. I tell you, Kinney's going to be unstoppable here tonight. Hennigan getting ready to check into the ball game, and also Missy Lang, who out of Rock Valley has been impressive here in her freshman year.
Yeah, Missy Lang really has done an excellent job getting some quality minutes against good opponents, shooting the ball at 58% from the field, so that shows you that when she gets the ball down in scoring territory, she can finish the play, and is also taking good quality shots, not trying to do more than she should as just a freshman.
Kinney at the free throw line will be shooting 2. She was in the act of shooting, and Lang getting ready to check in for Kinney to give her a break. Kinney, as I mentioned, a 74% free throw shooter, leading the team in scoring at 14.3, and she misses her second free throw of the night. I guess you can excuse them when they're making as many points as she is inside of the paint. And the next free throw up and good. No, so Kinney will check out, Lang will check in. So you got Yukon and Lang in there, and also Palmer in a reserve role into the ball game. And Lisa Bluter, as we mentioned in the start of the ball game, gone to the bench.
Well, and what you got here is a bigger lineup now for Drake, because Lang's going to go to the post, the big forward spot, and Yukon will play in the pivot.
Shot from the top of the key, 3-point attempt, no good. Rebound, Julia Ritkers. Bulldogs trying to run with the basketball. Ritkers brings it down to Palmer. Inside to Lang. Nice pass to Yukon off the backboard as she should. Too hard, no good. Lang with a rebound, and they're going to play volleyball up there on the boards with this kind of a lineup for the Bulldogs.
Excellent offense. Missy Lang kept the ball above her head, drew the double team, dished it off to Jill Yukon. Nice shot, and then a great follow by Lang. When you break down a defense like that, it's so much easier to go to that weak side and get offensive boards.
24-16. Bulldogs build it back to 8. Loose ball on the floor, picked up by Indiana State. 10 on the shot clock. Even going down to the low post, they're going to have a tough time shooting over those hands. And again, and this time the ball knocked away. Bulldogs with Hennigan. Brings it up to Palmer. A little bit too high for Cheyenne to handle. It goes out of bounds.
Well, when in doubt, just stop and hang on to it, but trying to make a big play there. All set up. They'd have been okay, but Ritker's lost handle on the ball, and Nicole had to pick it up and then tried to lead the break. A tough play there. She didn't see Cheyenne until right at the last second and tried to make a tough pass.
Yeah, it was a 3-on-1 when it all started. By the time it was over, it was not pretty. 24-16 Drake on top of Indiana State. We just moved down to the 10-minute marker here in the first half. Shot, boy, another forced shot by Indiana State. Down inside of the paint, up and good, but boy, not a pretty one here by James, and that's her first bucket of the ball game.
Well, the one thing Indiana State will do is Kay Reek will play a lot of players. Only one on the bench has not seen action yet tonight.
Here's Ritkers. Back out front to Lang, drives in, nice move, shot up, no good, hits lip of the iron, hitting it always where the ball is, isn't she? Jump ball called for, and it'll belong to the Bulldogs. Drake fans thought there should have been a foul call. Drake's going to get the ball. Lavin is going to come into the ball game. There's Kay Reek talking things over with Hester. And Lavin will come in for Ritkers. Now you got the Bulldogs with only Hennigan. Here's the replay.
Well, again, Missy Lang, nice move. There's Nicole, always there, but brings the ball down where James can get a piece of it.
Here's Palmer from the baseline. It's it for two. Cheyenne Palmer for two.
That's a big basket for Cheyenne, who has improved, keeps trying to improve that outside jumper. We've seen flashes where she shot the ball very well this season coming off the bench behind Dia Payton.
Well, Todd, you talked about Kay Reek's bench. Look at the Bulldogs right now with 4 out of the 5 in there off the bench.
A lot of young players on both teams, up and down the bench.
And I think we're going to have a chance to see Brinkmeyer. 26-18. Ball knocked away from behind here by Lavin. It's going to be Drake basketball. So the Bulldogs getting an opportunity, even with a 8-point lead here, to play quite a few players here in the first half.
And the two players Lisa Bluter worried about, Kahn and Hester underneath, scoreless between the two so far. That's the kind of post defense that Lisa was proud of against Creighton the other night. She's getting it again this evening.
Good point. Palmer brings it down to Hennigan. Get it into Yukon. Double team shot no good. And the ball stolen away by Lavin. Now in trouble, kicks it back out, and the Bulldogs will set it up, and Lisa Brinkmeyer gets ready to check into the ball game. Nice return pass to Hennigan, airbolted, no good though.
That's great work on that post, on that block by Lang though, to dump that right back out.
Three-pointer, no good. Rebound Drake. Boy, I tell you what, Bulldogs are not going to give up many rebounds right now. And a bad pass here by Lang. There's a freshman mistake for you.
I think maybe the Bulldogs got greedy too, Mick, trying to run up court instead of coming back and getting on the outlet there to make it an easier pass. Cheyenne tried to streak down to half court and take the pass on the run.
Hennigan with her first personal foul. Back into the ballgame, Dia Payton and Lisa Brinkmeyer also checking in.
You see it here as driving the lane, getting it to Hester underneath, and Nicole really with that foul prevents an easy lay-in.
There's the Bulldog bench over there as Hennigan checks out of the ball game. Boy, Indiana State's had trouble tonight getting the ball in play. Shot up underneath, up and good, but they finally get it into Nicole Fry. She's got herself 9 points on the night. Brinkmeyer, Bulldog fans going to get a chance to see Brinkmeyer, and a traveling call against the Bulldogs. I think right now the Bulldogs got some people in there that haven't played a lot together, and certainly you can see some of the frustration on the part of them that, you know, when you're not used to somebody, it's awful tough.
It is. I mean, the more you play, the easier it becomes as far as handling what goes on the court. And right now, a couple of freshmen out there, but she counters now, does Lisa Bluter, getting Julie Ritkers on the court. So you get someone on there with a lot of experience. Great block by Lang.
Oh, man, indeed. Lang with the block. Here come the Bulldogs with a 6-point lead at 26-20. Yukon, her shot, no good. Boy, she can't buy a bucket. Brinkmeyer underneath. Scoops it up and good. Brinkmeyer for the Bulldogs.
Well, one of the things you saw Lisa Brinkmeyer when she was a high school player at Hubbard Radcliffe, excellent athlete, can go to the offensive glass. There you see it.
Played volleyball, basketball. Ritkers with the steal. Bulldogs wanting to push it up court here, and Ritkers passes it off. Here's Dia Payton for two. Thought maybe they might pull it out, Todd, but Payton's got her third bucket of the night.
A great pass by Julie Ritkers. She kind of felt the presence of Walker coming from behind, pinned her on her hip, and then dished it off for a nice pass. Fast break points have really been a factor here in the early going.
Bulldogs build to 10 at 30-20. Indiana State in trouble. Kicks it back out. You know, you get the feeling watching Indiana State that they want to go down to that low post, but boy, the defensive plays you mentioned earlier just has been so tough that it's really taken them out of their offense, and they've just sat there and struggled here throughout the first half.
Well, they're not. Drake it almost frustrated them in the early going when they were trying to make that entry pass down low. You remember Wakely stole a few of them. They got their hands on some, broke them up, and it looks like now Indiana State a little tentative in thinking they don't want to try and make that entry pass anymore. Olivia Hester on the court right now for Indiana State. She got the foul from Yukon.
Let's see what happens. I think maybe she twisted her knee.
There you see the shot up. Hester, the long rebound, comes up with it and then runs right into Jill Yukon.
Trying to shake it off now as she heads to the free throw line. Her first free throw attempt. Still scoreless, you mentioned, as you take a look at Kay Reek over on the sideline.
Well, Hester last year as a freshman, a great season coming right out of high school. Averaged 10 points a game, led this club in rebounding as a freshman. Her and Cora Kahn both started nearly every game last year. Kay Reek put them right in there, and they really gained some valuable experience.
Second free throw, no good, but the Sycamores come away with a rebound, however. Shot from the left side of the paint, no good. Bulldogs will keep it to one shot this time. Karen Schulte into the lineup, number 34. Boy, she is tall, isn't she? Wow. So the Bulldog fans get an opportunity to see everybody. Brinkmeyer in there, Lang in there, Schulte in there. Schulte will shoot from the baseline. She can shoot from out there. Shot no good, and here comes Indiana State. Sycamores for three, no good. Rebound, a long one out of there. Saved by Indiana State. Bulldogs come away with it. Let's see what Dia Payton does this time. Over to Schulte, and might have a foul on the Bulldogs on Dia Payton, I believe.
It looked like Olden had position as Dia, instead of coming to a jump stop, tried to lead Schulte with that pass and just couldn't control herself and ran over Olden. I think they're going to give them the bonus at the other end too, Mick.
Dia Payton with her first personal foul. Now the officials talking things over at midcourt, and we will make the walk. And the Bulldogs not liking the call, but Indiana State will go to the free throw line.
Bonus for the Sycamores.
To the line goes Hazel Olden, who still scoreless in the ball game. Bulldogs by 9 at 30-21. Lisa Bluter taking an opportunity tonight to play a lot of players.
Well,
Todd.
and you got 3 players for Indiana State averaging better than 11 points a game. Olden, Kahn, and Hester. Olden gets her first point. The 3 of them combined have yet to score a field goal in this game, so Kay Reek has had to try and go to some other people to try and get the point production here in the first half.
Second free throw also good here by Hazel Olden. That's her only 2 points Todd mentioned in the ball game.
And Olivia Hester over on the bench right now has an ice pack on her knee, so she looks like she'll be sidelined for some time.
Dia Payton here, 3 on 4, or 4 on 3, excuse me. Shot from the right side, up and good by Karen Schulte from Norway. Scores her first puck out of the night.
Any experience that the freshmen on this team can gain is valuable, especially in a situation like this when it's not garbage time.
Yeah.
You're still in the midst of a very tough game.
You got a 9-point ball game going on. Lang with the foul. Missy Lang trying to go for the block, and Lisa Bluter unhappy over the far sideline.
You see Olden with the nice entry pass. That's what they want to do more of as she gets it down to Kahn, and then she turns on Lang, kind of had her pinned, and Missy had to go to the foul to try and stop the play.
When we saw Wakely in there, she was doing a little more side fronting on the post player.
I think because the pass came from so far out, it was almost as if they tried to beat Drake from setting up that defense. Missy just hadn't reacted yet.
First free throw good by Kahn. Second free throw upcoming. Still scoreless from the field as she makes both the free throws. Timeout of the 4 with 5:40 to go in the first half. Indiana State a spot back within 7. It's 32-25. Bulldogs back in a moment.
If you think your education is limited because you can't attend college during the day, consider Drake University, offering over 200 courses and more than 40 degree programs in the evening, including accelerated programs for business majors. Working adults appreciate convenient class schedules and services, and Drake professors assure students a quality education. So at Drake, the only real difference between day and evening classes is the time of day. Call for information.
The road to recovery from chemical dependency can seem rocky at first, but with each new step, the journey, while not necessarily easier, can become a bit smoother. With the help of the Bernie Lorenz Recovery House for Women, a life of sobriety can be bridged with life's responsibilities and life's loves. For more information, please call 255-3373. The Bernie Lorenz Recovery House, a crossroad to a new life.
If you're a senior with health insurance questions, you may feel lost on a stormy sea with doubts about long-term care insurance, Medicare supplement coverage, claims, benefits. CHIP, the Senior Health Insurance Information Program, can be a guiding light. Trained senior volunteers will help you find smoother sailing, and CHIP is free all over Iowa. Call the Iowa Insurance Division at 515-281-50.
Victor Todd Kim back at the Knapp Center, 32-25 with 5:40 to go in our first half. Lisa Brinkmeyer getting ready to throw it in. Bulldogs shooting 53% from the field right now.
The one thing that's holding Indiana State in is they're 8 of 9 from the free throw line. That's really the reason they're still in this ball game right now, shooting just 8 of 26 from the floor.
Bulldogs up court to Lang. Another turnover against Drake. That'll be 9 turnovers right now against the Bulldogs. We'll set the lineup here. Lang going for the block. Going to be called for the foul. And that'll be a 2-shot foul, and Lang picks up foul number 2. Well, Lang in there along with Brinkmeyer, Schulte, Dia Payton, and Julie Ritkers. And Lisa Bluter getting an opportunity to get everybody in. And still have the comfortable 7-point lead, or somewhat comfortable lead. Now Nicole McBean getting ready to come in. Free throw up and good by Bottoms. Well, Indiana State still shooting pretty good basketball from that free throw line. Drake, a lot of shots coming from inside of the paint and just outside. Bulldogs only 1 of 4 from three-point range, where they are ranked 4th in the nation at 41%. Second free throw up coming here by Bottoms off the back of the iron, no good. Bulldogs continue to control that rebounding here in this ball game with the height advantage. Ritkers for 3. Yep, got it. Julie Ritkers, the junior out of Johnston, Iowa, hits the tray, and the Bulldogs up by 9.
If Indiana State's gonna press, they're gonna give up some of those, because when Drake beats it, it'll be much easier for Julie to set up and spot up for that 3.
Nice pass inside of the lane. Nice pass over to Bottoms, her second bucket. She's got 5, and it's again a 35-28 ball game. The lead at 7.
That's the strength of Amy Walker's game: penetrate and then dish off.
That was the shot taken by McBean, no good. Ritkers, the only starter into the ball game right now. Aldia Payton's in there as well. Brinkmeyer over to Ritkers. Bulldogs not quite the height advantage they once had. Indiana State picking up the defense a little bit here as Kay Reek roots them on. Well, Brinkmeyer is a heck of an athlete, isn't she? Dia Payton shot no good as the shot clock was coming down, and here comes Indiana State. Well, Coach Bluter's got to be happy at least with the Bulldogs working the offense. Shot blocked, no good. Here comes the Bulldogs. Leading 35-28. We're down to 4, Todd, in the first half.
And a good job there by Karen Schulte as she made that block.
Schulte, not much arch in the shot. Shot no good, and here comes Indiana State. Shot from 8 up and good by Walker. 4 for her tonight. And we've got a 5-point ball game.
And Walker, one of the things, she had 20 points in that victory against Drake at Indiana State. And as we see, she can put the ball on the court and create, and was able to do that on the last trip.
Ritkers with a nice move, but won't get the bucket down. Hennigan and Kristi Kinney getting ready to check in for the Dogs. Pass down to the baseline again. In trouble, blocked. Loose ball picked up by Schulte. Here comes Drake. 35-30, Todd. Bulldogs, as Lisa Bluter yells for instructions, by 5.
And the Bulldogs got to do some more ball move right now. They're settling for that first shot they can get, and they're just throwing it up there. Got to move the basketball, try and create the open shots.
Here's McBean over to Brinkmeyer. Still say the 5, have not worked that much together in there. You can kind of tell it right now with the ball movement. Payton with a nice drive. Hits it. Boy, nice move by Dia Payton. 9 for Dia tonight.
And a good first half for Dia there against Hazel Olden. I don't think Olden felt she was going to go to the hole. Just got that step around her and then drove to the basket.
3-point, no good, and a foul over the top of Brinkmeyer goes Bottoms, her first foul of the ball game. And Coach Bluter up off the bench over there as she brings in Kinney and also Nicole Hennigan. McBean will check out of the ball game. And Brinkmeyer will sit down as well.
Oh, good work for the freshman in there, getting some valuable experience. Kay Reek on the other side after Hazel Olden took that long three-pointer, looked at her and said, let's pass the ball, let's work it. They've been doing pretty good in their half-court, pretty well in their half-court offense by passing the ball. There they come down and settle for the first long jumper they can get. They come up empty.
Bulldogs set it up here offensively. Hennigan over to Dia Payton. Nice pass into shoulder. Oh, boy, nice kick out. Still doing a nice job down there with the big ones. Big players inside. They kick it back out to the guard spot. 3 on the shot clock. Kinney puts it up. No good. Foul's going to be called, however. Boy, Kinney is really drawing the fouls tonight. And Kinney, who had 15 early, will go to the free throw line.
And the second foul on Hester. And really there, Mick, the Bulldogs kind of get away with it. The shot clock melting down. Kristi just kind of forces the issue there. And the Bulldogs fortunate to come away with a free throw opportunity.
Kinney from Jefferson, the junior at 5'11", leading the team in scoring right now with 14.3 points a ball game, and Kinney hits the free throw. 2 of 4 for the free throw line. Missy Lyon getting ready to check back in for the Dogs. Will come in for Kinney.
Well, with 2 fouls, Lisa Bluter doesn't want to have her pick up that third right before intermission.
Kinney's second free throw also good. She's 3 of 5 for the charity line, 17 points, and indeed she will head to the bench with 2 personal fouls.
17 points, not a bad first half of work.
Not a bad at all. 39-30 bar score. Drake on top by 9. We're down to the 2-minute marker here in the opening half. Bulldogs into the zone here. Seen enough of that inside shot. Going to force to the outside, and a 3-pointer up and good. Well, that's about the quickest way to bring them out of the zone.
Well, Hazel Olden was leading the conference last year in 3-point percentage, Mick, before she got hurt. Kind of struggled from long range this year, only hitting 37% from behind the arc. But there she gets one down.
39-33. Drake by 6. Down to the baseline. Shot good by Karen Schulte. 2 buckets for Schulte tonight, and the Bulldogs pack up by 8.
And good recognition by Lang up top there. Held the ball high. Just a little skip pass there, and Schulte with the nice touch from the baseline.
Indiana State around to the horn. A little more pressure out front now after the 3-point shot, Todd. Here's a 3-pointer in the right wing. I think it might have been blocked by, was it touched by Schulte? No. She just tried to adjust the shot and missed it.
Well, I'm sure Jeannie James would say, yeah, somebody got a piece of that.
Jeez, it wasn't even close. You had to ask yourself if they missed about 2 feet. Maybe that's...
I'm sure Jeannie James would claim that was touched.
Can't understand Kay Reek has the Sycamores here playing a little full-court man, but there's no pressure. Now they'll back off.
It's just token to try and set it up, maybe push Drake to start their offense out about 5-6 feet higher than they normally would.
Ritkers to Hennigan, and she's fouled. Went for the block and do the foul, and she'll go to the line. James on the foul. She's got 1.
Well, that's exactly what the coaching staff wants Nicole to do. When you get that basketball at the free throw line, don't fake, put it on the floor all the time and try and drive, because then you're going to drive into trouble. When you've got the open 15-footer, go ahead and take it.
Hennigan with only 1 bucket tonight. First free throw attempt up and good for the sophomore. 3 points for her. 42-33 Drake. 1 minute to go in the first half. Bulldogs back home on Sunday as well here at the Knapp Center. Second free throw by Hennigan also good. Bulldogs by 10 at 43-33, and Coach Bluter looking on. Trying to root on that defense. Bulldogs going after him here man-to-man. Long shot again from outside. Boy, misses badly. And Hennigan, of course, goes to the floor. It'll be possession to Indiana State.
Oh, that's good hustle because Nicole Fry looked like she had position, but Hennigan gets down on the floor, ties it up. Indiana State will take possession.
Here's Indiana State inbounds. He kicks it back outside for the 3, but can't get it up. Schulte now fronting it onto the low post, you can see. Not going to deny that pass down there. 3 seconds on the shot clock, and they'll get it off in time, and it's no good. Rebound out of there by the Bulldogs. McBean, and going to have a traveling call, and Coach Bluter is furious on the far sideline. Well, let's see. She wanted a foul called as McBean was knocked to the floor. Coach Bluter, you can see her not happy, and Lisa having a few words with the far official over there. Shot clock off. We're under 30. Shot in and out, no good. Rebound, Indiana State off the garbage side. Back up, no good. And Drake comes away with a rebound, and then a jump ball called for. Nicole Hennigan spun around with it, got it tied up, and it's going to be Drake basketball.
Oh, that's great recognition by Hazel Olden, because Nicole trying to get that ball out of that traffic, turns around and just leaves it right there. Fortunately for the Bulldogs, the arrow goes their way. They could set it up here for one final attempt before halftime.
17 seconds to go. Drake leading 43-33. Payton. We're down to 10. 8 over to Hennigan, loses the ball with 6 seconds to go. And with 5 seconds to go, Indiana State walks in the out-of-bounds line with the basketball. So, Todd, the Drake Bulldogs will have 5 seconds remaining.
Plenty of time, but you're not going to be able to make too many passes. You need to make that entry pass and have something set up right here. You look for Julie Ritkers maybe coming off a screen high.
Hennigan, 4 seconds, 3. Dia Payton gets it knocked away. They're going to call a foul. Indeed they are, and Kay Reek's not going to be happy at all. She wasn't happy with Olden's play earlier, and she is not going to be happy now, fouling with 2 seconds to go in the halftime.
And that's the thing that they are so successful at, with those quick hands knocking it away. But as many times you come up with a steal, you've got to really use it and pick your spots. And when Dia's 25 feet from the basket with 3 seconds to go, not a time to go for that steal.
Dia Payton out of the line. 9 points tonight. Free throw up and good. You ever watch the shot by Payton? I'm going to tell you, the ball does not revolve at all. Does not move.
It's a Wilbur Wood, isn't it?
Oh,
it's kind of a knuckleball.
I don't know how you even shoot those things. I couldn't do it if I tried all day. There's a little spin on it, gets it to go down. Well, 2 seconds to go. Indiana State's going to have one last heave, and the high archer comes up short, so we go to the halftime into the locker room with the Bulldogs leading here over Indiana State with a score of 45.